Thank you very much. Just short, because we're out of time. Conference is over. It's 1 p.m. Prepared just short conclusions for the last 2 days, and due to the time, I skip already the first one. So this is not an overall conclusion, but just some insights. I would like to inform you that we will prepare in the next days conclusions, real conclusions of this conference, trying to sum up what has gone on and what have been discussed, and these are some of the key figures of it. You will find these conclusions. It's not the resolution; it's conclusions. Then on the website of this conference. When I have some statements coming to some statements, I would say we all agree that good governance is a key for future of EU integration. This has been said by so many speakers of the conference and so many contributions during these last 2 days. We also have seen a strong commitment to EU integration. Besides the referendum in Britain yesterday, we have seen here the participants, also from Commissioner Hahn, these and Mayor Häupl, these very strong commitment to the EU integration, and this is, I think, especially today, a very important sign. The conference, and this was also mentioned by Commissioner Hahn, and also on yesterday by General Secretary Lienhardt from the Ministry of Europe Integration and Foreign Affairs, the Austrian Ministry, that somehow this conference is connected to the Berlin process. The Berlin process, which is quite important, which is very important for the EU integration process of the Western Balkan countries. But this is also an Austrian priority of the Austrian foreign policy, and so the Berlin Process Conference event, which will take place in next week or the week after next week in Paris, will also be used to further develop all the things we discussed here. So this conference was also a part of the Austrian activities of the Berlin process, which is quite important for me to mention. We have, in many discussions, yesterday especially, we had this point of that we need more exchange of the stakeholders working on public administration reform. We had yesterday Sigma, we had DG NEAR, we had DG Regio, of course RESPER, and country representatives, and we saw that we all are not always talking with the same language and the same terminology. So this is clear. Most of us have known already, but it is clear that there's a need for more exchange on public administration instruments and strategies and the approaches which are existing. I mean, we didn't agree, but somehow there was an idea of we need maybe more harmonized instruments and also values of public administration and public administration reform in Europe, in the European Union, and also in the countries of Western Balkans. There should not be a difference between public administration principles for Western Balkan countries and public administration principles in the European Union. This is also an issue of a question of sustainability of public administration reforms. We saw also, I mean, we are here in the city of Vienna and we have NARLAS as one of our main partners. We saw that there is an essential role of local governments and regional governments for public administration reform and, of course, European integration. And maybe this role is still a little bit underdeveloped in the political discussions. We had also quite interesting discussion of should reforms be just top-down or also bottom-up, and we had maybe also not as conclusion, but as fruitful discussion. We saw a focus that there needs also be the public administration reform also very much connected to the public sector organizations. So of course we need the strategies and we need the big pictures and the indicators, but we also need good departments, good public sector organizations and the development of single organizations. Let's maybe what we have seen, for example, yesterday with these good practices, could be also a good approach to bring public administration reform to run. We have also a focus on leadership and management, which we saw yesterday, and we saw it also today in the here in the discussion and in the session before. Without good people, without good staff, good managers, and how to get them, how to have them in the public administration, we will not succeed, because it will live and die with the good management and with the good and convinced and also convincing leadership. Also clear in the discussion of both days was the role of the civil society, which also has to be more focused together with transparency. We have discussed it or presented it sometimes. Vienna would like to increase its efforts in this direction. We would like to be a partner, which we call then a Danube Governance Hub, to contribute to the public administration reform, to foster European standards of public administration reform, to promote knowledge and knowledge transfer, to also coordinate this national and regional and local level in this issue, also in the issue of European integration, and to be a supporter of a strong public sector in the European Union and also in the future European Union, supporting the European integration process in the Danube region. Let me finish with some quotes. Of course, I'm sorry I cannot quote everyone, but today we heard from Mayor Häupl that Vienna is glad to host this Danube Governance Hub and the conference and contribute to the European integration process. Very clear statement. Commissioner Hahn reminded us, besides the questions of the fundamental first, that we should not become desperate and tired, he said, about the British decision, and we have to go on with European integration of South Europe. And yesterday in the beginning, I liked it very much, Mr. Secretary General Lienhard from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs quoted Jean Monnet in his speech with saying, nothing is possible without individuals, but also nothing lasts without institutions. That's, I guess, what we heard also today. And Commissioner Hahn said, I was a little bit astonished. He said, we don't need just conferences, so we take this also very serious. We need results for the citizens. And yes, it is not the next step, because we are already into it, but this is what we have to focus on. And so we will also not go on with conferences, with just conferences, but with more developed projects. I would like to mention that we have in our BASIT program already, with some countries which are represented here on the podium, also quite good. Quite good, let's say, developments. When I see that we started our CAF discussion with Serbia, when we see that we have already an open government, open data project running, we call it mentoring program running with Macedonia, and furthermore, we are now just discussing with our Albanian partners furthermore projects which will come out of this governance hub, so in order to have better results for the citizens. You find all of the presentations, all of what has been discussed on the conference website. So you see, maybe we mentioned it not properly enough, but we are a green conference here, so we don't have too much paper, but all the presentations which we got are on the website. Yeah? And you have a speakers list on the website, also with the CVs. You have all the presentations there, and you will also have a video documentation. So all the presentations from which we heard, unfortunately, just in this room, not in the other room, are video documented. I just received that we got 84. Did it change? Is it already 85? 84 Twitter news. So during the conference, which we are very proud of, you have seen it there, and we will try to make also a Twitter archive. I'm not sure if we will handle it, but we will try to have also what has been discussed on Twitter during the conference on this website. So I would like to close and say thank you very much. Thank you for the contributions. Thank you for the effort. Thank you for your contributions, for the discussion. It was a pleasure to have you here. I would also like to thank the team which was very intensively working on the preparation, on the techniques. It was a challenge for us. We liked it very much. We have now. Of course, we thank our partners, have been already said quite often, RCC, RESPA, NARDAS, the city of Vienna, the Danube, the PI10 of Vienna, and also our Slovenian partners from the Center of Excellence in Finance. And it's now time to close, but closing means we have a final, let's say, kind of small lunch on the right side. We are used to it to have a smooth ending of this conference, and I invite you now to have a little bit networking as final step of this conference. Thank you very much.